Money, missed court hearings, and an FBI investigation. An ongoing public corruption scandal put extra scrutiny on how DWI cases are handled in our courts. We know one way that cases can get dropped is when officers fail to show up to a criminal hearing. But KRQE investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhardt uncovered another way that accused drunk drivers have been getting a free pass. And it involves what officers were doing outside the courthouse.
Have you had any alcohol tonight?
I have.
When a driver is arrested for DWI and refuses a breathalyzer or tests at or above the legal limit,
You're under arrest for DWI, okay?
New Mexico law says the driver's license should be revoked.
Your license gets revoked within 20 days unless you ask for a hearing, in which case your license remains valid until the date of the hearing. So the government has to have a hearing to take your license away.
I'll ask you to raise your right hand, please.
It's supposed to work like this. An arresting officer explains the DWI arrest he or she made.
I noticed there's some slurred speech.
To an administrative hearing officer. A driver's defense attorney can cross-examine, and if the hearing officer agrees there's probable cause, the driver's license is revoked under New Mexico's Implied Consent Act. But we found accused drunk drivers are often allowed to stay behind the wheel because officers aren't showing up to these administrative hearings. It's a widespread problem, but KRQE Investigates also zeroed in on cases handled by a defense attorney at the center of a public corruption scandal, Thomas Clear III. Federal agents raided his office earlier this year under suspicions he worked with police officers and took money to get DWI cases dismissed in criminal court. Records we obtained from the state's administrative hearing office reveal drivers were also let off the hook there.
Today's hearing is a video hearing. On the screen for the driver is Attorney Thomas Clear. Hello.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Take this license revocation hearing from October 2021. Attorney Clear shows up, but when it comes to the officer...
Officer Munoz and Officer Montano of the Albuquerque Police Department were both subpoenaed to testify by video. They both failed to dial in, appear. Without their testimony, the state will not be able to meet its burden, and therefore the revocation shall be rescinded.
Officer Joshua Montano is one of 10 officers APD investigated, part of its own probe into the DWI corruption scheme.
It's now 1:16. There's no email from Officer Montano or any messages about his difficulties, so I'm going to mark it as a failure to appear.
Records from the last 3 years show in cases where DWI suspects hired Attorney Clear.
I should take note that Officer Alba Jr. of the Albuquerque Police Department is not present.
The arresting officers failed to show up to their license revocation hearings at least 87 times.
I'll issue an order rescinding the revocation.
And officers, be safe out there.
Resulting in accused drunk drivers keeping their license to drive. That same data reveals Attorney Clear's DWI clients kept their driver's licenses 74% of the time they had a license revocation hearing. Compare that to the statewide rate of just 47%. And in the metro, accused drunk drivers get to keep their licenses only 46% of the time they request a hearing.
It's despicable because one of the things that happens with administrative license revocation, to deter drunk driving, you need something swift, sure, and certain. This is swift, sure, and certain until you have officers that decide not to show up.
Linda Atkinson is executive director of the DWI Resource Center and a longtime advocate for victims.
But what this does when we still require officers to be present is this kind of game playing that goes on. And it's wrong, it's criminal. This state has got to step up.
I think everyone's taking a long, hard look at how we got to this situation.
APD Communications Director Gilbert Gallego says the department now shares officers' direct work calendars with the hearing office and court, improving overall officer attendance. So when a no-show is reported,
we're looking at it, and they're going to find out, if it continues to happen, that there are repercussions.
These guys are going to take the accident report on this, and then I'll do the DWI part.
This case from 2018 was handled by former APD officer Montano.
Can you tell me about the crash?
What crash?
The crash that you were involved in.
Witnesses say Elier Quintana Antillon barreled through a construction zone, just missing the work crew with his car, then tried to drive off.
Tried taking off again, and then he swung at me, so I pulled his ass out of the car and I chokeslammed him. And then they tied him up.
Construction workers used a belt as makeshift handcuffs until police arrived.
Have you had any alcohol tonight?
I have.
How much did you have?
Like about 2 beers.
Despite his admission, the driver refused a blood alcohol test. Montano noted failed field sobriety tests and charged the driver with DWI. Then this year, it was among 200-plus cases dropped due to Montano's and other APD officers' credibility being called into question, part of the federal corruption scandal. Atkinson argues these administrative hearings are another opportunity to hold drunk drivers accountable. And regardless of officers' attendance, their DWI report should speak for itself, she says.
A record that would say this was what happened, this is what occurred, and it's a finding of facts.
Democratic Senator Mo Maestas, who's also an attorney, says there's a reason officers must show up.
It's a big deal for the government to rescind a permission slip, a business license, a driver's license, any type of license. So you need probable cause to rescind that license, and without someone telling the story and cross-examination, it may not be constitutional.
A frustrating reality for DWI victims.
Victims get the message. They get it, the way they're treated through the criminal justice system.
And accused drunk drivers like this guy.
What can I say?
You said it all.
Send a message of their own. Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
7 APD officers, including Montano, have resigned, and a commander has since been fired from the department. A lieutenant was reassigned, and another officer remains on leave. So far, no one has faced any criminal charges. Meanwhile, Tom Clear had, quote, no comment for our report, and he has taken down his law practice website.